Here live inside Bakersfield, California, this is the CIF Central Section Division III Football Championships featuring the Dinuba Emperors as they take on the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Alongside here, Joel Diaz, Manny Nunes making the call, and Joel, we have got a great one tonight. Probably by far one of the best divisional finals here in Central Section history. And we're talking about two teams that really like to go opposite ways. One team who loves to throw the ball and one team who really loves to use that run. Let's talk about Dinuba first. Got a guy named Marcus McMarion who just likes to throw the ball, but can really do it all for the most part. He's got 41 touchdown passes on 32 passing yards, only a junior. I'm assuming that this guy's getting a lot of looks from Division I colleges.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, with stats like that, everyone's going to be taking a look at you. You know, he can do it all. He can get the ball into the end zone through the air, on his feet, run around all kinds of defenses. So Ridgeview's going to have to definitely come in prepared for Marcus McMarion here tonight.
Also putting up points, too. This team averaging about 44 points a game. They defeated Madera and Porterville to get to this point. And obviously a team against Ridgeview, they've got to bring it their all. Speaking of the Wolfpack, they're coming in with a record of 10-2 out of the South Yosemite League. They're averaging 35 points a game. They defeated Delano and Independence to get to this point. They got a lot of weapons as well, but one guy to mention, a quarterback that can basically play both ways. This team loves to run with the ball. They're averaging actually over 300 rushing yards per game, but you can go in and do part with Kamari Conmoya. This guy has thrown for 11 touchdown passes, but he also has 2,000 rushing yards and 27 touchdowns on the ground, 38 total. This guy can really mix it around. He actually has he's wreaked havoc against a lot of defenses throughout the year.
Yeah, absolutely. He's like a little mini RG3 here in high school. Cotton Moya is going to be running all over the opposition's defense. And as you mentioned, with all those yards and 27 rushing touchdowns, it's going to be very difficult to be able to stop him. So the defense is going to have to concentrate at least trying to slow him down.
Yeah, one thing to mention history-wise for both teams, Ridgeview actually came here last year. They lost in the sectional final last year for Dinuba, as a matter of fact. They're looking for their second divisional title in the last 4 years. They were the semifinalist last year. They won it back in 2010. Both teams just meeting up on the field. Again, it'll be Dinuba taking on Ridgeview. Joel, this will be a great game. Both teams have not faced this type of caliber, and obviously in a game like this where everything comes down on the line, not only for a sectional title, both of these teams actually have a chance of playing for a bowl game if they do win this game, with the selection coming up this Sunday. So their seasons could not be done if they do win tonight. So obviously a lot riding here on this one game alone.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys are definitely going to leave it all on the field here tonight, especially the seniors. You know, this may be their last game in their high school career, so you know they want to give it their all, give it 150% here tonight so that they can go out of their high school career with a bang.
For Ridgeview, they're dressed up in their purple and white with gold pants. For Dinuba, they're in their white jerseys, green lettering and green numbering across the jerseys. Dinuba elected to kick off as they won the toss. They'll get the ball to start the second half. Folks, this is the Division III sectional final here in Bakersfield, California, and we are underway live on PlayOnSports.com. Ridgeview taking the kickoff, breaking off one tackle, running now towards the near side, and then brought down inside the 30, down to about the 31, and that was Dalen Warren there on the return. And that's where the drive will start here for the Wolfpack. Again, for the Wolfpack, they come in 10-2, undefeated in the South Yosemite League. For Dinuba, 12-1, as they also finished undefeated 4-0 in the Central Sequoia League. The quarterback here for the Wolfpack, number 3, Kamari Conmoya, again thrown for 11 touchdown passes, but rushed for 27 on the ground. He's got 3,000 total purpose yards on the year. Ridgeview now ready to go here, set up first down and 10 in the shotgun formation. Single back, receivers left and right. The handoff up to the far side, trying to fight through a couple of tackles. That's Brandon Tripp on the run, getting a few, maybe about 5 on the play. It'll set up here second down and 5.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing a lot of that here from Ridgeview tonight. The Wolfpack, as you mentioned, loves to run the ball. And so whether it's through Cotton Moya or Tripp, you're going to see a lot of rushing plays from this team.
Yeah, this team, again, loves to run on the ground. And although We have Cotton Moy, who's got 27 on the year. This team really likes to mix it around. Brandon Tripp is actually one of their big guys that can run the ball. He can run it deep down the middle. On second down, another handoff. This time, it'll be actually a play-action fake. It is Cotton Moy there on the run. He got 7, well enough to move the chains.
Yeah, and they're going to be keeping this Emperor defense on their toes consistently with their varied running backs coming from the backfield. They're going to be able to run it, as you mentioned, either up the middle with Tripp or, as you can see on this last play, a play-action keeper from Cotton Moya.
So Cotton Moy now looking over to the bench here, looking for the signal. He's got it now, setting up on first down and 10 at the Ridgeview 45-yard line. Takes the snap, he'll hand it off. Instead, it'll be a quarterback keeper, as a matter of fact. There he goes, breaking off a tackle now, running towards the sidelines. He pushes up a few more before fighting inside the 20, down to about the 18. A beautiful run for about 30 yards. Well enough for another Wolfpack first down.
Yeah, and right there you can see Cotton Moya's speed and his strength. And what we were talking about at the start of this broadcast, what he brings to the table for this Wolfpack football team. He's going to be running it all over this field, and that's just a quick preview of what's going to be going on later on.
Yeah, this guy here is senior. He's already got scholarship offers from Fresno State, Utah State, and Nevada, all Mountain West schools. On first down, this time the handoff up to the near side. That was Brandon Tripp on the play. Tripp not getting much, maybe about a yard, if not 2. Though it'll set up here second down and 8. And like I said, both teams have not really faced off these types of strengths of opponents. Both teams left to put points on the board for Ridgeview. They have not put up less than 25 points per game. They are averaging about 35, but they can consistently get to the end zone. For Dinuba, they pass the ball. They're averaging here 44, so this could be a shootout here tonight. On second down, it looks to be about 8 to go. Cotton Moy here on the shotgun. It'll be a quarterback keeper trying to fight through. Instead, runs into the pile. Cotton Moy got a little lost and instead ran right in to a bunch of defenders, getting tackled for maybe about a yard gain. It'll set up now third down. It looks to be actually a couple of yards, as a matter of fact. It'll be third down and 7. Clock here taking just underway here, about under 2 minutes, or over 2 minutes in. It is the Division III CIF Central Section Championship game. Winner with a chance to fight for a semifinal bowl berth, semifinal state bowl berth, as a matter of fact. On third down, another quarterback keeper, Cotton Moya, again gets brought down, but not for a couple of yards. He got about maybe 4 on the play. He's about 3 yards shy from the first down. Fourth down, and now decision time here for head coach Dennis Manning.
Yeah, and here to start this game, the way Cotton Moy has been running, you can absolutely assume that he's going to be taking this fourth down play himself to try to get the first down for the offense.
They have gone forward progress in each of their rushing plays. All 6 plays so far have been on the ground here. Fourth down and 3. Cotton Moy takes the snap. He'll hand it off this time to Tripp into the pile. Did he get the first down? He needed to get to about the 10. The referees are marking him shy of the 10, and I think he might be about a yard short. Ridgeview saying they got the first down. Dinuba, though, celebrating. It'll be a turnover on downs here for the Emperors.
Yeah, and of course that's the risk you take running the ball on fourth down. You know, I expected Cotton Moy to have the ball there, but they tried to also fool the defense, handing it off to Tripp. The defense was ready for it, and were able to get that big stop to slow Ridgeview's first drive here in this ball game. And now they have the ball in their own territory.
We will see Marcus McMarion here under center on first down and 10 at the Dinuba 10. The handoff up the middle, not getting much as the Ridgeview defensive line all over the running back. So it'll be now second down and got a yard on the play, second and 9. One thing to mention here is it's going to be about clock management, as like I said, both teams love to put points on the board, but it looks to be right now so far about 2 to 3 minutes in. It looks like it'll be either a slugfest or very, very close-knit defensive battle. Let's see what Dinuba will do on their first drive here. Second down and about 9. Back under center, McMarion. Got 2 receivers on the right-hand side. Takes a snap, dropping back, firing it up to the corner. It is caught fights through a couple of tackles and then gets brought down to about the 20-yard line. And that was to Josh Valenzuela on the play. Though he got 3, it'll set up now 3rd down and about 4 to go.
Yeah, it'd be a big momentum buster here if the Wolfpack can force a 3-and-out on Dinuba's first drive, especially since they're already deep in their own territory.
Ridgeview looking for a 3-and-out to start their defensive drive. 3rd down and about 3 to go. Got in the I formation, 2 receivers to the left of McMarion. Clock here ticking, about 7:15 to go in the opening quarter. Taking the snap, dropping back, staying in pocket, now fires up the corner. Losing the handle there on the catch. Aaron Taylor, who can't bring it in, even though if he would have caught it, he would have lost yardage there on the play. 4th down, and that'll bring out the punting team for the Emperors.
Yeah, Taylor would have been lucky to even get back to the line of scrimmage on that play. So great defensive stand there by the Wolfpack, forcing a 3-and-out and forcing this punt. So this will give a second opportunity for Cotton Moya to move the ball down the field again with his legs and try to get the ball into the end zone.
And more importantly, also very good field position. A high snap, almost got blocked, but he just got it kicked away. It'll take a light Emperor bounce before it'll trickle down to about the Ridgeview 46. So the Wolfpack need about 64 yards to get into the end zone for their first score of the game. We will keep it right here, folks. Looking at the Ridgeview overall schedule, overall, like I said, finishing with a record of 10-2 to get to this point. They didn't really blow out teams essentially, but they did beat some pretty tough opponents in Delano and Independence, a number 8 and a number 4 seed to get to this point. So they do got experience, and they're also a heavy team. They were finalists last year, so they've definitely got that that final mentality since they were just fresh off it last year.
Yeah, absolutely. They're confident coming into this ball game, being able to take down 2 teams as powerful as the 2 you just mentioned, Vanny. But this gives Ridgeview the confidence and the momentum coming into this ball game to be able to leave away here with the victory.
On 1st down and 10, back in the shotgun is Cotton Moya. He's got 2 receivers on his right side. Quarterback keeper staying in the pocket, firing it up wide. No one-on-one defensive coverage. He was looking for Drummond Persons, well out of reach and incomplete. Now we're already seeing the strong arm there of Cotton Moya, but just well out about 5 yards out of reach.
Yeah, that was about a 60-yard pass there, but it was 20 yards ahead of his receiver, unfortunately for them. But yeah, as you mentioned, Cotton Moya definitely has that powerful arm as well.
Again, looking at the schedule, their only game that they put less than 25 points was a loss in the opening game of the year against Frontier. Since then, they have put up at least 30 points a game. Right now on 2nd down and 10 after the incomplete pass. The handoff up the middle. Trip like a bulldozer, getting 12 yards on the play before the last defender kind of paid the price, but he was lucky enough to make the stop there. 1st down and 10, well enough for another 1st down.
Yeah, Derek Orozco took the big hit from Tripp there. At least he was able to come down with the tackle. But for Tripp, that's a 10-yard gain for the 1st down.
It's kind of like a little deer in the headlights. Got to make the play, but it's not going to be a very good feeling when you get back into the huddle. On 1st down and 10, this time inside Emperor territory at the 43. Taking the snap, quarterback keeper running towards the near side, a stiff arm, fighting to the 40. Now running into a couple of defenders, making the tackle there was Derek Orozco. But he got 4 or 5 yards on the play. It'll now set up 2nd and 5 here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and Cotton Moya looks fired up there. Getting 5 yards on the play, as we've seen throughout this ball game. He's been able to get positive yardage on every single run.
Got the Ridgeview fan base right in front of us. Both stands all packed up. It's shoulder to shoulder here inside Ridgeview Stadium. Again, the Division III CIF Central Championship winner with a chance at a bowl game next week. On 2nd down, the handoff to Tripp. Can't get much of anything there actually on the handoff. Instead, it was to Eddie Lopez. Lopez getting a couple on the play, about 1. It'll now set up 3rd down and 4. Right now, Ridgeview is 0 for 1 on third down conversions.
Yeah, it looks like this might be a defensive game here, Manny, the way things are going. Dinuba's been able to do a good job slowing down the run. So we'll see what Cotton Moya's got up his sleeve here.
On third down, back in the shotgun, single back, play action, throwing it up the middle. It is caught. Great reception there by the tight end of Ridgeview. And on that play, making the catch, Shaquan Baines up the middle. Enough for another Ridgeview first down. Moving the chains, it'll stop at about the 25. So first down and 10 here, the clock still ticking at under 5 to go. Right now, Ridgeview here on their second drive here of the night. Breaking out of the huddle. Dinuba looking for another stop. They've gone into the red zone and actually forced them out on their first drive for the Wolfpack. First down and 10. Taking the snap. It'll be another quarterback keeper as Cotton Moya with this great footwork as he runs to the sideline and gets tackled at about the 6. What speed he's got, too. Only took him less than 5 seconds to move up to the near side. First down and goal.
Yeah, that was a great run there by Cotton Moya, but also a touchdown-saving tackle by Orozco. Cotton Moya had end zone all over his mind, and Orozco was able to bring him down just shy, about 3 yards shy of the score.
So now back inside the red zone here are the Wolfpack. Over again, back in the shotgun here. First down and goal, rather. They hand off here to Tripp, a little spin move, and then gets wrestled down inside the 5, down to about the 3. Couple of yards, getting that much closer to the goal line now. Second down and goal. Again, clock management here being key. Only their second possession here of the night for the Wolfpack. And already we're nearing the end of the first quarter. About 3:40 to go in the opening frame. Now breaking out of the huddle here, second down and goal. At around the 3-yard line. Conmoya here back in the shotgun, takes the snap. A quarterback keeper, Conmoya, diving towards the goal line, maybe a yard if any, though he does get stopped. Third down and goal here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, he was about a yard short there of scoring. But Cotton Moya, you know he wants to get this ball into the end zone himself. He's been doing a great job so far on this drive. So let's see if he can get the score here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, he has been pretty effective, but obviously a very crucial third down possession here. They hand off to Tripp, up the middle. Does he get over the goal line? Referee saying yes, he does. It is Brandon Tripp who strikes first for both teams. A 6-0 affair pending the extra point.
Yeah, very effective drive there for the Wolfpack, running the ball with Cotton Moya and Tripp switching things up, keeping those linebackers on their toes, and very effective, was able to get the score there, putting 6 up on the board here, pending the extra point would make it 7.
Now setting up here for the XP, the snap, the hold, the kick. It is up a line drive, but it is going to be splitting the uprights and to good. The 2-yard handoff to Brandon Tripp, crossing the goal line as the Wolfpack strike first. It is a 7-0 Ridgeview lead. We'll take a quick timeout right here. This is the CIF Central Championship game right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play on Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Already a great game here so far. 2 possessions here for the Wolfpack, and it's a 7-0 affair. But right now, as you can see, only 1 pass compared to, I believe, their 20 rushing attempts. Every rush attempt here for the Wolfpack has been coming for forward progress, and you can tell that they can really use the run effectively.
Yeah, absolutely. But establishing that run game can open up the other facets of your offense that it allows for you to get open pass plays, as we were able to see a couple times on the last drive. So that's something that Dinuba is going to have to be ready for tonight, because they're going to be expecting to run almost every play, which then can kind of knock them on their backs once the pass play comes. So they definitely need to be ready here for that.
And again, this team not afraid of scoring at will. They have averaged around 40, 45 points in this playoff run. Ball kicked away to the far side. Dinuba will take the ball, find through a few tackles before being taken down at about the 32-yard line. Real quick, your thoughts on Dinuba to respond after that scoring touchdown drive for Ridgeview. Obviously, they've got a lot of weapons, but what do you think they should do to counteract on that touchdown drive?
Yeah, Dinuba here needs to go. They had a 3-and-out on their first drive, so they got those pre-game jitters. As we've said before, especially here tonight, this is a huge game for both of these teams. So they may be a little nervous. They're going to have to go back to what they're used to. They need to get that mindset of, hey, this is another game. We have to come out here and win this ball game, give our all. And so that's probably what they're going to do here. Marcus McMarion, we know, has a great arm, so they should concentrate on airing the ball out, getting the receivers open, and scoring some touchdowns.
And right now, Dinuba here will use their first timeout of the half, and already you're kind of sensing after that, like you said, that first 3 and out for the Emperors. It just seems like the nerves are kind of hitting in. Right now, they're looking for their second section title in 4 years. But already, like I said, with a lot on the line so far, and not really taking on a team of this kind of caliber, right, like Ridgeview, I think they're kind of playing more conservative to see what this Ridgeview defense is bringing to them. Yeah,
they're kind of feeling each other out here right now, especially Dinuba. Ridgeview's just going with their power run game, as you've been able to see. Cotton Moya's had a lot of quarterback keepers running up the middle, getting all these run plays. So they're going to their power run game. Dinuba's still trying to feel out Ridgeview, see how they can move the ball forward against them.
On first down and 10, taking the snap. Quarterback keeper up the middle, gets shoestringed and then brought down. Great play there by McMarion to sell the handoff. Got a lot of positive yardage. Looks to be about 4. Setting up now second down and 6, and now they're taking a little bit out of the Ridgeview playbook.
Yeah, definitely going with the quarterback keeper there. But we know McMarion can air this out, and I think we're going to see a lot of pass plays here tonight. So let's see what McMarion can do here.
Second down at about 6 to go. Clock reading at 2:07 and counting here in the opening quarter. Play action, staying in pocket, throwing it up to the middle. It is caught there by Taylor. Taylor fighting for the extra yardage. It gets brought down at about the 20-yard line on the slant play. You see Taylor wide open, connecting right to the chest for 40 yards.
And that is Marcus McMarion's arm there. What a great pass up the middle. Wide open Aaron Taylor taking it down to about the 22-yard line. Huge gain for Dinuba, and I think they already forgot about that original 3-and-out that they started with.
Yeah, forget about that first drive. Again, it was kind of just shaking off that first drive jitters and already looking A-okay so far. Clock here ticking, 1:45 to go. Again, in the first quarter, first down and 10 at around the 22 of Ridgeview. Back in the shotgun is McMarion. Taking the snap, play action, staying in pocket to the corner of the end zone. Ball tipped and incomplete. Drummond Persons there with the great play, second down.
Yeah, great defensive play there by Persons. He was able to get a hand on the ball, or else that would have been a touchdown there for another touchdown pass for McMarion. But you know he's going to continue to air it out and be able to find his open receivers. So Wolfpack needs to be ready and have many plays just like that one.
And already you can tell that this team is not wasting much of any time to really score quickly. They want to avenge that touchdown they give up on their last defensive stand. Second down and 10 again at the Ridgeview 22. McMarion in the shotgun, a whistle. And I believe it will be the Wolfpack that will call time. And already you can kind of sense the momentum is doing a little bit of a 180. Again, the timeouts to start this drive was called by Dinuba. Took them a few plays. They're now nearing the red zone, and now Ridgeview kind of on their toes, want to talk things over.
Yeah, Ridgeview needs to see what they're going to do here to stop McMarion. You know they came into this ball game knowing that, hey, this guy's got a great arm. He's going to be able to find his open receivers. So they need to force Dinuba to establish a running game. They need to force him to go to the run. So continue to knock those passes down, put pressure on the quarterback and force him to throw interceptions or throw incomplete passes so that they can force them to go to that run game.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. This team can go both ways, but obviously for Dinuba, they love to throw the ball. They have averaged around about 120 rushing yards per game, but at the same time, they really love to use the arm of McMarion. And for Ridgeview, that's what they want to rely on. Again, well, actually, as a matter of fact, 174 rushing yards a game, so they can actually go both ways, as a matter of fact, but they love to use the arm, as I said, of McMarion. On 2nd down and 10, about 90 seconds to go in the first quarter of play. This time in the shotgun, high snap, play action, thrown to the corner. It is caught. Fighting for that couple of extra yardage, Omar Duarte, who makes the catch, and I believe he lost 2, it looks to be. But now it'll set up regardless a 3rd and long for the Emperors.
Yeah, it's a little difficult to set up an effective play action pass without having much of a run game established throughout this ball game. So we've only seen a couple run plays here by the Emperors, and so it's a little difficult to have that play action pass be successful.
See what they can do here on 3rd down and 10. They didn't get any on the play, so Duarte lucky enough to get back to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd down and 10, McMarion back in the shotgun, rolling out left-hand side now, escaping. Got a couple of rushes on top of him. He'll have to take it himself before throwing into the corner. Well out to nobody, and that is incomplete. A great stop there by the Wolfpack to flood up the middle and force him to throw a bad pass.
Yeah, again, as I mentioned, they need to be able to put pressure on McMarion, force him to throw the incomplete passes or possibly force a turnover. But that's a great job there by the defense for causing them to get that 4th down.
39 seconds to go, 4th down and 10. They are in field goal range, but it looks as if the Emperors will be going for it here. 4th down and 10 to go. Ridgeview needs one more play to get this ball back. Back in the shotgun, McMarion with a single back, 3 receivers to the left. Staying in pocket, firing it up to the middle. It is batted up, and it'll be incomplete. A lot of purple there on the play, looking for a receiver, but he was flooded out. And the Wolfpack will take over on downs.
Yeah, there were 3 defenders there around his receiver, and he was trying to squeeze it in to complete that pass. Of course, it's a very difficult play to make, and it's a turnover on downs there.
Now let's see what the Wolfpack will do. Again, up 7-0. Maybe time for about 1, if not 2 more plays to end this first quarter. Again, a 7-0 ball game. The first score of the game coming off the rush, a 2-yard run by Brandon Tripp. Already 2 defensive stops here for Ridgeview thus far. 1 on a turnover on downs, as you last saw, and then the first on the first drive coming on a 3-and-out, this time starting at their own 22 on 1st down. It'll be a quarterback keeper. Up the middle for a couple of yards, Conmoya for about 4. It'll be 2nd down and about 6.
Yeah, and going back to that last play, it's definitely a questionable call going for it on 4th down. You're in field goal range. You should at least, get some points on the board to make this a 7-3 ball game. But now this gives an opportunity to the Wolfpack to march down the field and take a 10-0 or maybe even a 14-0 lead.
They got the play off in time. Conmoya there on the run. A couple of more yards. He's down to about the 30, and that will be the end of the first quarter. A 7-0 ball game. Again, a 2-yard run by Brandon Tripp to break the ice. It is Ridgeview on top here in the CIF Division III Central Section Final right here on PlayOnSports.com. We'll take a quick timeout. This is PlayOnSports.com, where high school sports lives right here.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/PlayOnNetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
And folks, we are all over the place. We got coverage on tonight and tomorrow. We got count 'em, 5 sections here in California, all the way from up north down here to the central section, and also a couple of games down in San Diego. And tomorrow, we have the audio coverage of the CIF State Volleyball Championships, starting from Division 5 at 10 in the morning all the way to the final game, Division 1 at 8 p.m. Catch all the action right here on playonsports.com, where everything high school sports lives right here. Back out of the timeout here, 3rd down and 2 for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. Again, looking to extend this drive. Again, a 7-0 Ridgeview lead. Back in the shotgun here, Moya. He'll keep the ball himself, but right on the play, you see the defensive work there by Xavier Jones to make the stop. 3 and out, Wolfpack have to punt.
Yeah, great defensive stand there, enforcing the 3 and out. That's what they're going to need to do. You know that they have that very powerful run offense, so they're going to need to slow that down, bring that to a stop as much as they can, and just use McMarion's arm to be able to put some points up on the board for their offense.
And you can already tell that on that play. It was kind of obvious that you saw Cotton Moya here was going to keep the ball, flag on the play, and I believe it will be maybe a false start. The head judge is pointing it might be against the Wolfpack, and it will be. So it'll be an illegal shift there against the illegal substitution there called against the Wolfpack. So bring that punt back about 5 yards. And again, on that 3rd down and 2, you have nobody behind him, and you already know that with a quarterback who can run the ball. You know, they were already kind of selling the play right then and there that it would have been 4th down regardless, or a chance at a stop regardless here. On now 4th down and this time 7. Low snap, but he'll get the punt away. It'll take a favorable bounce here for the Emperors. It'll die at around the 47-yard line of Ridgeview. So not that many yards for the Emperors to cover to get back into the end zone here. Again, a 7-0 Ridgeview lead. Let's see what the Emperors can do to respond again after that first touchdown that they covered up.
Yeah, and Dinuba's definitely going to want to use the clock here. Try to take as much time off the clock as they can, moving the ball down the field so they can at least tie the game going in a half.
Here, 1st down and 10 again at the Wolfpack 47. Play action, staying in pocket, throwing it up to Taylor. It's caught inside the 10, crossing the plane. He's in for the touchdown. Aaron Taylor again on the slant. Gets the pass from McMarion. It's now a 7-6 ball game pending the XP.
That was a gorgeous post route there by Aaron Taylor, and an even more beautiful pass by McMarion. Perfectly placed into Taylor's chest, in stride. Taylor did not have to slow down, and that allowed for the defense not even to be able to touch him. He grabbed the ball, kept on going, same speed, into the end zone, and now this ball game can potentially be tied here with this extra point.
Setting up now here for the XP. The snap, it's high, but it's going to be well enough, it's deep enough, and it is a good. I like to call that, Joel, dropping dimes, so to speak. A gorgeous pass, like you said, from Marcus McMarion down to Aaron Taylor. It was money right into the center of the body, and all Aaron Taylor saw was a bunch of green right in front of him to make it a 7-7 ball game.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the great connection there that every quarterback and receiver wants to have, and McMarion was able to find his playmaker, Aaron Taylor, take it all the way to the end zone. That was about a 50-yard pass there. Great play.
In fact, only took him about one play, as a matter of fact, and I'm telling you, this team right now is looking A-okay so far. Again, a 7-7 tie ball game. So they have avenged that touchdown, and now Ridgeview looking to respond the other way.
Yeah, I had mentioned maybe they'd want to take some time off the clock. They took only 9 seconds off the clock, so I think they went with the opposite, trying to score as fast as possible to tie the ball game up. But this gives Wolfpack a lot of time to move the ball down the field themselves. Yeah,
a lot of the papers out here in Bakersfield and the such covering the central section, they're saying that this will be the most tight game out of all all 6 divisions, here for football. One was already played, and that was last week in the 8-man division. A high kickoff, making the slip. Dinuba on top of it, but they're actually going to say that the runner was down on the play. It was Jacob Lopez who could not control the kickoff. He caught the ball and then had his knee down, so the referees are going to say they're down at about the 2, and that's a costly mistake there for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that's a tough break for the Wolfpack. They're going to start on the 2-yard line in their own territory. So the quarterback's going to be in his own end zone pretty much. Missed the ball here on special teams, picked it up, and he slipped. That's what the rain here may cause throughout this ball game, those kinds of mistakes, and it may prove costly here for the Wolfpack.
Yeah, it was raining before the game started today, so that extra moisture kind of settled in. Now breaking free, here's Brandon Tripp, now running toward the sidelines, trying to escape a tackle, and then gets brought down at the 39, so they escape with their backs against the goal line. Brandon Tripp on the play, getting 37 yards of first down, but they will take a deep breath as they get the big gain there.
Yeah, Brandon Tripp just burst through the hole there, untouched from any lineman, and he was able to get a 34-yard gain on the play. Incredible run there by Tripp. Emperors were able to catch up to him to bring him down, or else he would have been gone.
It was Max Azpatia on the stop there for the possibly a touchdown-saving stop for the Emperors on first down. Flag on the play. It'll be probably called against the offense. Look at that fight there by Tripp, who gets 12 yards on the play, but I think it'll be brought back here for an illegal motion. Yes, it will, so bring that drive back about 5.
Yeah, that's definitely something you don't want here. You had a great run there, got another first down, but flag on the play is going to bring that ball even further back and cause you to redo that play. And
already so far, even on that drive alone, even though it's going to be brought it'll be brought back regardless. You're already seeing the powerful running here, both from Cotton Moya and from Brandon Tripp, who they know how to work their legs and really use their speed to their advantage. So now on first down and 15, the ball right now at around the 33-yard line, looks like. The quarterback keeper, here's Con Moya along the sideline. He's at the 50, turning on the Jets, breaking off the tackle. Is he out of bounds? No, he'll cross it. No, yes, they're going to say he did step out of bounds. He slows down. Referee saying he's going to be out at about the 35. One referee says touchdown, but the back judge found him out of bounds at the 36, but a great gain for another Wolfpack first down.
Yeah, it's very difficult out here for the referees, especially since in high school there's no instant replay. They have to call, all their calls have to be on the fly, and so one referee didn't think that he went out of bounds, and from here it kind of looked like he didn't step out of bounds, but one of the referees was right there on the play and was able to say, hey, no, he actually stepped out here, and so that was a big break there for the Emperors, because that would have been another touchdown.
I'm telling you, folks, it may sound like an easy job, but like I said, that's why we're not the ones wearing the stripes. On first down and 10 at the Dinuba 37-yard line, back of the shotgun. Cotton Moya, the handoff up to the far side. Taking the run is Jesse Mora. Fumble, though, on the play. They're going to say, though, he was downed as the ball was popped out by the ground. So a couple of yards there on the play. A lucky break there for the Wolfpack. It'll be, though, second down and 5.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a first handoff to Jesse Morua, and he got away. Lucky for him, it wasn't actually a fumble, but you got to be able to hold on to that ball, especially here. You got all the momentum on your side, being able to move the ball down the field. Last thing you want is a turnover.
Now it's only sitting at 5'5", but already with the speed, it looks like Speedy Gonzalez down on the field. Second down at about 5 to go. Single back behind Cotton Moya. The handoff to Tripp, breaks off a tackle. He's at the 20, to the near side, crossing the goal line, touchdown Wolfpack! Brandon Tripp for 32 yards into the end zone, 13-7 pending the XP.
And this time the defense was not able to catch up to Brandon Tripp. That's 2 huge runs for Tripp just on this drive. He was able to go from his own 2-yard line almost to midfield, and now another huge gain, this time taking it into the end zone, and now this gives the Wolfpack a 13-7 lead.
So already calling the name out of Brandon Tripp. 2 big runs, one of 37, the other one the touchdown run of 32 yards. The kick It is up. It is going to be wide to the right. No good. And like we've seen all season, Joel, no matter what game we cover, points are crucial. So already looking at that extra point miss, although it is a 13-7 ball game with two teams that love to put points on the board, that extra point could be a big one.
Yeah, absolutely. Extra points can prove to be costly when missed because down the line it may force you to go for a 2-point conversion, which is a lot more difficult to convert that. So it can even cost you the game, especially a game like this when it can come down to the wire, the last possession, that one last point, and you just look back and say, man, if I would have made that extra point.
Maybe we flash back to a couple of games ago. It was the last game of the season between Tockwitz and Beaumont. The Titans missed the extra point. They were down by 2. It was 35-33. And they had to go for 2 at that point because they missed the extra point from about 2 scores ago. So like we said, Joel, you miss points here. You got to return the favor eventually. And obviously on that drive alone, it proved to be costly, even though it kind of set up a foreshadowing moment.
Yeah, exactly. It did cost Tockwitz the game in the end. They lost by 2 points. The score was 35-33. If only they would have hit that extra point, it might have gone at least to overtime.
The Wolfpack here to kick off the ball. It is high, it is deep, and I think that might be a touchback. No, it'll be shy from the 5. The running back had his knee down on the ground before bursting out. So the returning the favor after that drive started off for the Wolfpack. This time, the Emperors will have to this time start at their own 4.
Yeah, and again, that wet grass makes it a little difficult to be able to kick off when you're getting started on a run, get that acceleration going. And so, unfortunately there for the Emperors, he started off with his knee on the ground, and so they weren't able to go anywhere.
First down here and 10 inside the Dinuba 4-yard line. Again, a 13-7 ball game with the clock reading at 9:11 to go in the first half of play. McMarion here under center this time. Ball handed off up the middle, spinning, and then running into the pile. On the run was Omar Duarte. Duarte looks to be about maybe 3 yards. It'll set up now 2nd down and 7. On that play, you can just tell that they wanted to get that ball away from the goal line, so they wanted the extra yardage. Now they can work with more in their playbook.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say that, Manny. They want to move as far away from their own end zone as possible to get McMarion comfortable in the pocket and be able to air the ball out successfully without worrying about a safety.
They actually gave him 4 yards in the play, so it'll be 2nd down and about 6 to go. McMarion here back under center with 2 backs behind him. Another handoff to Duarte, and Duarte gets back to maybe about the line of scrimmage, if not a yard. So already 2 defensive stops here by the Wolfpack, both on runs. It'll set up here 3rd and moderate for the Emperors.
Yeah, Duarte went nowhere on that play. And as you can see, they're trying to establish some sort of running game here so that they can give McMarion those open passes later on in this game. But great job by the Wolfpack defense to read that very well and allow only minimal yardage.
3rd down now and 6 with McMarion back in the shotgun. He's got 2 backs on both sides, single receiver left and right. Clock here at 7:38 to go. High snap taken, it's staying in pocket. Now bursting out, thrown, and it's picked off! There goes Ridgeview into the end zone on the interception. William Robertson with the pick 6. Touchdown Wolfpack!
I saw that interception happening before McMarion let go of the ball. If I could see from up here, Robertson down there on the field knew, I know where this ball's going. McMarion, unfortunately for him, kept his eyes on the receiver that he was going to pass to the entire time, and it allowed William Robertson to jump the route, grab that ball, and said, hey, you know what? I'm going to put some more points up for my team, and that's exactly what he did with the pick 6.
Now obviously playing zone there, but it was the linebacker who was reading the eyes of the quarterback, and on that play, you're not really covering your own area. It's more or less just covering where the quarterback is going to throw the ball, and he just kind of saw, like you said, eye to eye. He knew where that ball was going, and it was an easy interception. crossing the goal line for another Ridgeview touchdown. Now setting up for the extra point. Looks as if they're going to be going for two. Core keeping the ball here. Cotton Moya, who will cross the goal line. They'll get the point back. It's now 21-7 Ridgeview, and already they're starting to walk away with this one.
Yeah, and that's a huge momentum buster there for the Emperors. They were able to, after that previous touchdown, they were able to get away with the Wolfpack missing that extra point. They said, okay, it's 13-7. This gives us a chance to possibly take the lead on this drive. And McMarion, unfortunately, with the turnover, allowing the Wolfpack to score again. And this is just going to make it that much more difficult for them to get back into this game.
21-7 Ridgeview on top, 7:29 to go in the first half. Still a lot of time for Dinuba to maybe get a couple of scores before the end of the first half. And already in the last drive for the Emperors, it was kind of already a little bit of a dead duck. First couple of runs there by Duarte, only getting a couple of yards. He only got 4 before the interception, but already starting at the 4, you already sensed that they were playing for the 3 and out and maybe more or less fighting for that last play before the interception.
Yeah, exactly. They were playing field position there, trying to get out from, they're inside their own 10 by running the ball, and they said, okay, you know what? On 3rd and long, let's go with McMarion's arm and try to get it out there. And unfortunately for them, it went as an interception.
A short kickoff taken by Angel Zuniga gets brought down at about the 32-yard line. So already coming back on the field on offense and already maybe a little bit winded after that last drive are the Emperors. And that's the last thing you want to do is to come back on the field after just a little while ago you give up 6 points in the process. Let's see what the Emperors can do to bring that back. First down and 10 at the 32-yard line of the Emperors. Under center, McMarion. 2 backs behind him, the handoff to Duarte. Finding a hole, now running up the middle. There is Duarte. Spins and moves down at about the 34-yard line. A great play by Duarte. First down and 10.
Yeah, what a great run there by Duarte. He was able to find the seam, find those holes created by his offensive line, and was able to take it down the field for a huge gain. And he almost broke for a touchdown, but luckily for the Wolfpack, they were able to bring him down just shy of their own 30-yard line.
I'm telling you, Joel, if this game keeps up, I don't know if I can keep up with this one here. Already a bunch of big runs here on both sides of the ball. First down and 10 inside Ridgeview territory. Back under center. The handoff again to Duarte. Into the pile, then gets about maybe 4 on the play. They're going to say he's brought down with forward progress at the 30-yard line now. Second down and 6.
Yeah, and those big, long runs are what allows the offense to open up a little bit more. It allows McMarion to work those play-action passes better, to be able to get that ball to his receivers a little bit more effectively. And so that's a great job by Duarte to find those holes and get those big runs. Even on these runs where it's 4 or 5 yards, that's still really effective for the passing game as well.
Second down and about 6 yards to go. McMarion back under center in the I formation. Play action, staying in pocket, firing it up to the corner, and again it's picked off! There is Pervian Alexander with the interception taken down at the 20, and that's already 2 thrown picks there by McMarion.
Yeah, and McMarion was hit hard as he was throwing the ball. He was actually on his way down when he let go of that ball. He should have just taken the sack. I mean, there were too many defenders, too many defensive backs in the area he was trying to throw the ball, and he should have just gone down, take the loss of a couple yards, live to see another play, but instead he throws it right into the arms of Pervian Alexander, who comes down with an interception.
2 interceptions here thrown by Marcus McMarion. And another score here for the Wolfpack will maybe have them in control. Still early, though, in the game, 21-7 with under 6 to go. Back in the shotgun. Staying in the pocket, throwing it up to the corner all by himself, and it's caught! There is Persons to the 10 at the 5, 27-7, with the Wolfpack on top on one play. It was Cotton Moya to Persons selling the run, A big 75-yard run, or a 75-yard pass, rather, for a touchdown.
Wow, that play was incredible. Cotton Moya had me completely fooled. I thought he had the ball. I was looking at him. I was looking at the running back. I was like, where'd the ball go? And next thing you know, I see the ball in the air, well on its way to Persons, wide open, takes it all the way for the beautiful, beautiful pass from Cotton Moya for the touchdown.
Now setting up for another extra point here. Kick the ball will be Juana Ceja. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, line drive, but that will split the uprights and good. Already 3 touchdowns here scored in the second quarter for the Wolfpack, and they now lead it by a score of 28-7. We'll take a quick timeout right here. This is Friday Night Football, the CIF Central Division 3 championship game right here on PlayOnSports.com, where high school sports lives right here.
PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school, playoff, and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here.
Tons of coverage here on PlayOnSports.com. We've got all the, from the Northern to the Central Division, high school football championships out from 5-1. Including Concord de La Salle. And also tomorrow we've got the CIF State Volleyball Championships right here on Play On Sports. 28-7, and already the Wolfpack doing it both ways. 2 on the ground, 1 on interception, and the other coming from the arm of Cotton Moya. On the return, the returner gets down to about the 30-yard line. 3 drives here so far, Joel, for the Emperors have come rather short, but already they're getting more winded as they get back on the field. It only took the Wolfpack 1 play to score. The previous drive, it was a pick 6, so they've had to do a lot of work so far, even though they've only got 7 points on the board. Yeah, the offense has been on the field a little bit too long here in this quarter because of those turnovers and that just 1 play to score on that last drive for the Wolfpack. So it's a great job there by the Wolfpack keeping the offense on the field, keeping them tired, keeping that offensive line tired. And Marion here, play action, thrown to the corner. It is caught, and then getting drilled at about the 32 on the play, making the catch, Angel Zuniga, the running back. It'll be 2nd down and 8, and again on the tackle there, William Robertson on the play. It'll be now 2nd down. It looks to be maybe about 7 to go. Yeah, and for the Emperors, the last thing you want here is to feel demoralized after those last couple interceptions. You're already down 28-7. You want to move forward. Don't let those turnovers get to you. Try to move down the ball down the field and put some more points up on the board. The handoff here. Up the middle to Duarte. About 2 on the play. It'll cross over to the 36-yard line now, 3rd down and 4. And already you can kind of sense that this is a very important drive for the Emperors because in the last 2 for the Wolfpack, they have crossed the end zone. So they can't be really trading points back and forth. They need to find a way to get back on the scoreboard. They can't control the clock. There is 4:30 to go, so there is a chance to maybe have the ball last before the half. But this 3rd down here, playing very crucial here for the Emperors. 3rd down and 4 to go. McMarion on the under center. A whistle. And I think the head coach, Kevin Chardon, might have heard me as the Emperors will call time. We'll keep it right here again, a 28-7 ball game. And we can already right now the Emperors are kind of pressing that panic button. They already know that this 3rd down, very crucial, but if they force a 3 and out here, chances are the Wolfpack can maybe control the game if they score 1 more time. Yeah, definitely. The Emperors, they have to score here before halftime. As you mentioned, they're pressing that panic button. They need to play with that urgency, but they don't need to play reckless. They need to be able to get that ball into the end zone before halftime without allowing the Wolfpack to get a chance to score again. It's a little bit more manageable starting the 3rd quarter just down by 2 touchdowns as opposed to 3.
So the Emperors definitely need to get a few play calls here together, string them together for McMarion to move the ball down the field using his arm, maybe a few run plays here and there, but at least get that score before half.
And if you're just joining us here, also, the Emperors did elect to kick off the ball, so if they do score, there's a chance to maybe start the drive with another touchdown, as they will receive the ball to start the second half. But let's focus on this third down right here. Third down at about 4 yards to go. Under center, the quarterback, play action, escaping with the pocket, quickly collapsing the pass. It is caught there by Garrison. Garrison getting drilled out of bounds at about the 48. 15 yards, well enough for another first down, and they'll keep the drive alive.
Yeah, that was a good play there by McMarion. He was able to get out of the pocket when he saw it collapsing and was able to find his open receiver to get that first down. And the receiver was able to go out of bounds to stop the clock, which I don't know if that's exactly what they want right now to stop the clock, but it was a great play either way by McMarion there.
And 2 guys are on the play, but it was Garrison who had the last laugh and making the last second catch. Duarte on the run. He's running to the near side, shoestringed at about the 42. They do get a couple on the play. Looks to be about maybe 6. Second down and 4. Now, right now, you can just tell that they're kind of easing up a little bit, trying to keep the ball as long as they can before the half is over here. The clock is ticking. 3:45 to go. As you see on your screen, Dinuba has 1 timeout. Ridgeview have 2 in their pocket.
Yeah, and as you can see, Dinuba here taking their time in the huddle, trying to make sure they get the play right, take some time off the clock, and make sure to run the correct play and then get those positive yards.
Second down now at about 5 to go. Looks to be McMarion under center. Dropping back 3 steps to the corner. One-on-one. Diving to the corner. Incomplete. Looking for a flag, but the referees are saying it was uncatchable. Third down and 5.
Yeah, that was a quick drop back there by McMarion, and he launched it up on the seam up to his receiver, just out of reach. He almost got a hand on it, tried to dive for it, but unfortunately for them, it fell down incomplete.
About 3:16 to go. Again, a 28-7 Ridgeview lead. Breaking out of the huddle now. Third down and 5. Marcus McMarion, the quarterback, under center. In the I formation. Single back now breaking out to the corner. 2 receivers now to the right side of McMarion. Calling up motion to Zuniga. Play action. The pocket collapsing. Rolling out right side. Looking for a man in the corner. And incomplete. Trying to look for Ernesto Ruiz on the play, but obviously McMarion looking to just get rid of the ball regardless. It'll now set up 4th down and 5 for the Emperors.
Yeah, that was McMarion tried to get the ball to his receiver. Great read there, moving away from the pocket as he had 2-3 guys in pursuit and almost hit his receiver in stride, but it fell incomplete again. And this is a big 4th down play for them. They have to get this first down. There's still plenty of time left on the clock for Wolfpack to be able to do something.
Yeah, the clock now at 3:09, only 6 seconds coming off that clock. 4th down and 5. McMarion in the shotgun. Sprint out receivers to the left-hand side. Single back next to him. Taking the snap now, rolling out, staying in. Looking at the corner. It'll be tipped over and incomplete. A turnover on downs here forced by the Wolfpack. They'll take the ball back, and there's a chance to maybe blow this game wide open with another score by Ridgeview.
Yeah, I think on that play, the pass was actually intended for Lorenzo Fraga, number 31, but Angel Zuniga was in the vicinity and thought it was for him, put his hand up, and accidentally batted the ball down. And so neither of them were able to come up with that play, and a turnover on downs. A big mistake there.
A 3-score Wolfpack lead as they will have the ball at their own 42 correction. On the run with a shoulder move, William Robertson on the play. Maybe about 2. They'll go from the 40 to the 42 now, 2nd down and 8. Again, they have 2 timeouts. Not much of a rush to get another score on the board so they can really hold on to the ball before the half is over. All about clock management right here on this one drive alone. Second down, looks to be about maybe 8 to go. Again at the 45 of Ridgeview. On the shotgun here, Cotton Moya takes the snap, handing it off to Tripp. Gets brought down by the knees at about the 50. So call it a gain of about 5, now 3rd and 3.
Yeah, Tripp got hit at the line of scrimmage, and he fell forward 5 yards. He was able to keep his balance long enough to be able to get a pretty decent gain on that run.
So now 3rd down at about 3 yards to go. Clock here still taking under 2 to go in the first half of play. Cotton Moya on the shotgun with Tripp in the backfield. 2 receivers to the right-hand side. It'll be a handoff. No, could it be a play action? As a matter of fact, pass is complete to the far side. It is Devin Lemke who gets the reception, and then it gets taken down at about the 27-yard line. So sell the run and make the play in the air. 1st down and 10. Though a flag on the play, it'll be in a legal man downfield, so wave the pass off. That was a last-second flag. Even I hadn't seen it there. It was actually thrown in the line of scrimmage, so bring that play back. But it was a great move, great play call there by the Wolfpack. That'll be brought back about 5 yards regardless.
Yeah, that was a great play. Cotton Moya sells that play action so well. I thought the running back had the ball. I was just like, wait, where'd it go again? That's the second time he's fooled me here tonight. And so, of course, he's going to be fooling the defense just as well. And he was able to find his receiver, but unfortunately for them, the flag brings that ball back.
So now on 3rd down, and this time about 8 to go. Clock now rolling with about 95 ticks to go before the half is over. Dropping back, Cotton Moya staying in pocket, now throwing it up one-on-one. It'll be well short of the wide receiver, Devin Lemke again, incomplete. Now decision time here for Dennis Manning. Sideline, not much of any action. And I think, yes, they will elect to punt.
Yeah, with 1:25 left here on the clock, that still allows a little time for Dinuba to do something here. I think this is why they're electing to punt, so that they can try to pin Dinuba deep in their own territory so that they can't score before the end of the half. But definitely a chance for Dinuba to at least try to do something.
A low punt, but it'll take a favorable Wolfpack bounce. It'll go out of bounds at about the 31-yard line of Dinuba. The clock at 1:17 to go. The Emperors have 1 timeout left. And again, the arm of Marcus McMarion to work with. They do need a score, though. Again, they elected to kick off. They'll get the ball to start the second half. But already, Joel, we can already sense the start of it. Every time the offense comes on the field, it becomes more and more important, especially with the clock not on their side right now.
Yeah, definitely. This offense needs to do something. They've only put up 7 points so far, and the offense itself has given up 2 touchdowns. So they need to be able to do something positive going into halftime so they can at least have some momentum starting the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, like you said, already 14 points off of turnovers here have been against the Emperors thus far. 1st down and 10, a high snap. McMarion now throwing it up the middle. Pass is caught. He's at the 45 and then gets knocked right up along the 45-yard line. And they're on the play. Michael Sandoval there with a good catch. 1st down and 10. That'll move the chains. The clock will stop. Now rolling. About 1:10 and counting to go. Back out of the no huddle. McMarion now with the play call. He's got 3 receivers spread out to the right-hand side, 2 to the left. Taking the snap. Staying in pocket. Going one-on-one. Well out of reach. Looking for his man. It'll be incomplete.
Yeah, the pass was intended for Lorenzo Fraga up on the far sideline. He overthrew his receiver by about 4 or 5 yards there. But going back to that catch by Sandoval, that was a bullet right to his face. He was able to get his hands up just in time to come down with that. But a great pass there by McMarion.
54 ticks to go here before the half is over. 2nd down again, single back, or no back actually, behind him. Staying in pocket now, throwing it up to the sideline. It is caught. And then now taken down inbounds, this time at midfield. Clock still rolling, 40 ticks and counting. They've got to hustle if they want to put something on the board, but instead, Dinuba will use their final timeout. So the clock stopping at 38 seconds to go. They got to go with this drive without a timeout here. So they got to really work the sidelines. A field goal won't really do much. It'll keep it at a 3-possession game. Joel, what do you do here?
Yeah, you've got 50 yards to go to put a touchdown up on the board. I'd probably say about 30 for a field goal. But you only have 38 seconds left, which make time's not on your side. You definitely have to go to McMarion's arm. Of course, you don't want to run the ball. You're out of timeouts. If you're going to run it, you'd want to run it out of bounds. But I think they're definitely going to elect to go with more pass plays here and try to play the sidelines a little bit so that if they come down with the ball, they can run out of bounds and stop the clock. But what they need to do is just use that arm that he has and go for that deep pass.
Right now on 3rd down and 5, so this is obviously 4-down territory for the Emperors. No back with 5 receivers split out, 2 to the left, 3 to the right, and now this time it will be the Wolfpack who will discuss things over. So they've got one more timeout left. And already you could just kind of tell that the emotions are kind of building up right now on this one play alone as both teams want to kind of perfect things a little bit.
Yeah, I guess the Wolfpack didn't like what they saw on the offensive setup there by Dinuba, and so they wanted to come back, take a timeout, and kind of rearrange what their defensive play here. But this allows Dinuba to get a few more plays set up for the no huddles because they're going to continue going with the no huddles here. So I'd choose 3, 4, 5 plays in a row that you can go back to back to back without having to get into a huddle. So that's what these 2 timeouts allow them to do.
Yeah, usually you end practice with that 2-minute no-huddle offense, and already this is playing on their side here for Dinuba. 3rd down and 5 at midfield. Taking the snap, throwing it up the middle, over and out of reach, looking for Michael McCormick, incomplete. Now 4th down for Dinuba.
Yeah, he had a couple receivers in that area, McCormick and Ernesto Ruiz, but McMarion was able to feel the pressure there and was forced to let go of that ball a little sooner than he wanted. And now Dinuba seems like they're bringing their punting unit. Yeah, they only have 35 seconds left on the clock. It's 4th down at midfield. There's no other option but to punt here.
Obviously a smart move, especially with Ridgeview up by 3 scores. If you don't convert it here on 4th down, you give them great field position, though they will botch the punt, and he'll be taken down, so call it a miscue as the punter could not hold on to the snap, and now still a lot of time for Ridgeview to work with. The clock now at 30 ticks exactly. Maybe one more score here might be in them here for Ridgeview.
Yeah, exactly. The Wolfpack here, as we've seen throughout the night, Brandon Tripp can burst for a huge run. Cotton Moya, of course, can do either or, a huge run or a huge pass play here. So 30 seconds is plenty of time for them to advance 43 yards and put up some more points.
On the shotgun, no back. Here's the throw from the quarterback, tipped and incomplete. It was Cotton Moya with the arm, looking for his man deep down the middle. It was thrown to William Robertson, though it's incomplete.
Yeah, again, there was that strong arm by Cotton Moya, pass intended for Robertson, but he was able to get his hand on the ball. He almost accidentally tipped it into the hands of the defender, but luckily for him, it fell incomplete.
2nd down here, Cotton Moya back in the shotgun. 2 receivers left and right. Takes the snap. Now he'll try to run it himself. He'll find a hole. He's at the 35 and then dives. He might be short of the 1st down. No, they're going to say he made the 1st down and got a few more yards, so that will fortunately stop the clock. 16 seconds left to go. The chain's now set up here. 15, 14. He'll spike the ball. 2nd down and 10, but a great move there by Cotton Moya to dive over the 1st down marker. Looked to be short, but he was fortunate enough to get the extra yards there on the play.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was great discipline there by the Wolfpack to be already lined up to spike the ball before the referee signaled for the clock to be moving, and so that only took 1 tick off the clock.
Again, they only have one timeout left, so they're going to keep it in their pocket before they get inside the red zone. Second down here, staying in pocket. Cotton Moya firing up to the quarter. It is caught by Drummond Persons. He's shy of the first down. Under 7-6. They will stop the clock as Ridgeview will use their last timeout. Now decision time. You maybe have time to run a play or obviously one play before a chance at a field goal. It is going to be at the right hash mark. The kicker, Juan Ceja, so far as we've seen during these extra points, has been showing off his line drive technique. During the one high kick during the extra point was wide, but it was high, so he can be accurate, but he's more towards the center, if anything.
Yeah, they might rely on Ceja here for the field goal. It seems like it'd be about a 30-something yard field goal for Ceja, but you got to go back to that last play there. It was a great grab by Persons. He was on the ground already, and the ball, he was able to get his hands up to grab the ball as he was laying on the ground. That was a great play. But definitely, it's a huge decision here to make. I would definitely go for the field goal, put some points on the board.
Looks as if they're actually going to keep the offense here on the field. Again, 6 seconds left before the end of the first half. Got the offense spread out now on the right side. Correction, 9 seconds as a matter of fact, so they'll actually put 3 more on the board. A chance for maybe 2 plays now. Dropping back, Conmoy is staying in pocket, firing it up the middle, tipped, and incomplete. Only about 4 coming off the clock, about 5 seconds left. Looking at the sideline of Ridgeview, maybe thinking of 3 instead of 6. This team liking to gamble. I think they will be going for it. So expect this team to maybe run 1, if not 2. If they can get the first down, they can stop the clock.
I think the Wolfpack want to just blow this open going into halftime. They have 5 seconds left on the clock, enough time for one more play for Cotton Moya to throw this ball into the end zone.
Here we go, a quick pass up the middle. It is caught, bobbled, and recepted. Aaron McDonald, you've got to be kidding me. Finding a gift into the hands. Touchdown, Ridgeview.
Aaron McDonald with the grab, running the slant play, bobbles his way into the end zone, I guess you could say, on that play. But he was able to safely bring that ball in at the end and put some more points up on the board. Great read there, though, by Cotton Moya to find an open receiver.
A hot potato to McDonald. Try to cool that ball down before it was right into his hands. The kick is up, and it is good. No time on the clock. A 35-7 Ridgeview lead going into halftime. Joel, real quick, your thoughts on the first half here.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it looks like the Wolfpack want to blow this thing open going into half, and that's exactly what they did. Cotton Moya doing a great job, as well as Brandon Tripp running the ball down the field, but we've also been able to see a little bit of his arm here towards the end. But the big thing of this half are the 2 costly turnovers by Dinuba Emperors, Marcus McMarion, those 2 interceptions. This should be a 21-7 ball game, but instead it is 2 pick sixes and now 35-7 game.
Back to the drawing board here for the Emperors, but on the Ridgeview side, they're enjoying a 4-score lead. We'll take a timeout right here, a halftime timeout. This is, again, the Division III CIF Central Football Championship game here between the Ridgeview Wolfpack and the Dinuba Emperors. Folks, don't go anywhere. Second half underway in about 15 minutes or so. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back here to Ridgeview High School as the Wolfpack here on top by a score of 35-7 here alongside Joel Diaz. Manny News with the call, our producer Tim Barker, and upstairs with the camera is Jonathan Silva. We've seen a lot of scoring, but it's been on one side. It has been Ridgeview in control. They're up by 4 scores, and it's been going both ways with from the arm of the quarterback Kamari Conmoya and also from defensive stands, one coming off a pick 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Ridgeview's got going all tonight. They've been doing a great job. Cotton Moya through the air, as you mentioned. And Brandon Tripp as well had a couple huge runs. He had a rushing touchdown earlier in this ball game. But the key points of this game are those 2 huge defensive plays. One a pick 6, another interception on a positive drive that Dinuba had. But Ridgeview is doing a great job here tonight, and let's see if they can keep that going here in the second half.
Ridgeview here kicking off to start the second half. Dinuba will take the ball. Returning it out towards the far side, looking for a hole, breaks off a tackle. He might be breaking free. He'll spin down at about the 43. Oh, no, actually, no, matter of fact, I don't know if he got down or not. Did he? No, but it's a big gain nonetheless on the run. It was Angel Zuniga. Didn't know if he was down at the end. I don't know if he kind of did a little matrix move there, it looked like. But hey, he'll get the gain anyway, and that'll start the drive here for the Emperors.
Yes, Zuniga got creamed, but he didn't go down. He got hit so hard he was just pushed back 4 or 5 yards, and he kept on trucking along, and he was able to go and keep going. He took like 3, 4, 5, 6 guys with him. Eventually, they had to push him out of bounds to stop him, or else he would have just taken them all with him into the end zone.
You know, you can tell that the fear, the strength of that team now coming back into play here for the Emperors. They're down by 4 scores. Now rolling out to the corner. Now the quarterback here at the 40. He's at the 30 now, rolled out of bounds. Great footwork there by Marcus McMarion, getting a couple of yards, well enough for another first down. And that'll move the chains here as they're inside now of Ridgeview territory.
Yeah, you could see McMarion was looking for that huge pass play there to start this half, but instead he had a ton of running room ahead of him, and he took advantage of that. He was able to use his legs for a huge gain and a first down here for the Emperors.
First down and 10, McMarion now this time on the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. He's again down by 4 scores, the 35-7 ball game here in the second half. A snap, though, whistle, and a lot of yellow on the field. It'll be a whistle, a false start called against the Emperor, so bring this drive back 5.
Yeah, and trailing, as you mentioned, by 4 scores, the last thing you want is to have penalties go against you as well. You already have enough to overcome in 24 minutes of play. Losing yardage because of silly penalties is definitely not something you want.
So first down now and 15 at the 35 of Ridgeview. Back on the shotgun, taking the snap, now rolling out right side. He'll use his feet. McMarion at the 25, now at the 20. Staying along the sidelines and runs out of bounds inside the 15, down to about the 12. Another first down with the feet of Marcus McMarion as they get closer to the end zone.
Yeah, in the first half, we were able to see McMarion's arm, and now we're seeing a lot of his great footwork here, and he's been able to get a couple huge gains for first downs for the Emperors to start this third quarter, and it's only taken about 33 seconds off the clock.
11:27 to go here in the opening second half. McMarion back in the shotgun, 3 receivers to the left. First down and 10 at the 15, dropping back, staying in pocket, now rolling out. Will he use his feet again? No. Pass is caught up along the far side, now fighting for that extra yardage. Gaining looks to be about maybe 8 on the play. The catch was made by Ernesto Ruiz, so give him maybe 7 on the play. Second down, and give him 8, 2nd and 2.
Yeah, and now you've got the Emperors knocking on the door here, getting ready to score. Of course, this is what they need to do to get back into this game, start off this half with momentum on their side.
Second down and 2, the handoff up the middle. It is to Zuniga to the far side, trying to find the hole, but instead gets taken down Looks to be it'll be back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. So it'll be now 3rd down and 2. Looking to put another score on the board, but on the other side for Ridgeview, trying to hold on to that 4-score lead. 3rd down and 2 after the no gain on 2nd down. Clock here rolling under 10:15 to go. The handoff. This time to Duarte. Duarte with forward progress. He crosses the 1st down. He's at the 2. It is a 1st down, but more importantly, it'll be 1st and goal for the Emperors.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that it's very important that they had enough room to get a 1st down, and so now they have 4 more downs to work with to get the ball into the end zone, and they're only a couple yards away from doing that.
So 1st and goal at the 2, under 10 to go in the 3rd. McMarion under center. He loses the ball but picks it up. He'll sweep it over to the running back and Duarte. Duarte losing yards. He's brought down at the 4-yard line, so counted a loss of 2, but a fortunate play by McMarion to pick up the ball and have it run loose.
Yeah, McMarion fumbled the snap there and was able to pick it up very quickly and get it back over to Duarte, but Duarte couldn't get any yardage. He had about 4, 5, 6 guys on top of him very quickly.
2nd and goal, this time under center with 2 backs behind him in the I formation. McMarion taking the snap, play action. McMarion now will pitch it over to Duarte along the far side, gets drilled out of bounds. He does get the yards back, but it'll be 3rd down and goal at around the 2. And now decision time to see what they will bring out of these next 1 to obviously 2 plays, because this is definitely 4-down territory here for the Emperors.
Yeah, that was a good option call there by McMarion, but a great tackle bringing them just shy of the touchdown. They have 2 downs to work with here. Obviously, the rest of this game is 4-down territory for the Emperors, especially being this close. They need to get this ball into the end zone.
3rd down. The handoff to Duarte. Does he get the touchdown? I don't think the ref's saying that he might have crossed the goal line. No. He did get a yard, though, as Duarte will make it to about the half-yard line. So it'll be 4th down and goal. Both teams now, again, 4-down territory. So you will make that final push there.
Yeah, and this is 4th and goal with half a yard to go. This is where we're going to see, hey, who's got the bigger line, who can push harder, and let's see if the Emperor's O-line can push enough to get this touchdown.
2 backs behind him, the handoff. Duarte gets stuffed in the backfield. Ridgeview with the stop. 3 players for Ridgeview, the last man making the tackle, though. Jacob Lopez on the play, and the Wolfpack will force their 2nd turnover on downs tonight. The Wolfpack getting the ball back.
Yeah, and that's a huge demoralizer there for Dinuba. Just half a yard away from being able to put 6 more points up on the board. And they had, a couple downs to work with, and they couldn't do absolutely anything. That was a great defensive stand by the Wolfpack, something we've seen throughout this evening.
So they'll start the drive inside their own 2. 1st down and 10. It'll be the quarterback keeper. Here's Con Moya. He's to the near side, turning on those Jets. He's at the 30. Last tackle missing. It's a touchdown for the Wolfpack. 98 yards on the no-touch quarterback keeper. Unbelievable.
Cotton Moya for player of the game. Guaranteed. This guy, incredible run here, untouched, 98 yards. He was, in fact, it should be longer than that. He was standing in his own end zone when the play started. He was in the shotgun, and he just burst right through, untouched, great play-action play. And he just took the ball all the way to the other end zone. Amazing, amazing run by Cotton Moya.
Wow is the only thing that comes to mind on the play. Whistle and a flag, and I think this might be against the Wolfpack, though, going on the play. You knew it was going to be a run, regardless. It was either the handoff down to the running back or it's going to be Con Moya with his legs, but give a lot of credit to the offensive line of Ridgeview to force the defense of Dinuba to force towards the far side. They give him the open space. He did not have a lot of room to work on along the sidelines, but again, with the speed of Cotton Moya, he was able to use that to his advantage and really burst out free.
Yeah, absolutely. The O-line did a great job of pushing everybody the other way, and it was just a perfectly constructed play for Cotton Moya to have a huge run. And, of course, as you mentioned, he's got that incredible speed. Nobody was able to catch him. He had 4 guys right behind him, untouched all the way.
And the thing is that I don't think it was a touchdown play. It was kind of all right, work along the far side and see if you can get maybe 30, 40 yards before the defense takes you down. But no, he didn't. Obviously decided, you know what, everyone's behind me, might as well just keep it going and see how far I can get. And he got 98 yards to work with there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got to be gassed after that long run. Halfway down the sideline, he was just like, man, I can make it all the way, but I think I'm feeling a little tired after this run. And so, but great run by Cotton Moya. And as you mentioned, a lot of props to the Ridgeview offensive line.
So we got a 42-7 ball game. As you saw, the kick is up and good. Only a couple of seconds coming off the clock. 7:40 to go in the third quarter. Again, the Division III final here between these two teams, and already the Wolfpack in control with a 5-score lead. On the kickoff return, here come the Emperors, trying to find some space up the middle. Now working the far side on the run. It is Angel Zuniga on the play. He gets to about the 37-yard line. So again, that's where the drive will start for the Emperors. First down and 10. They need 65 yards, it looks to be, to get back to the end zone. But right now, this Emperor offense, 2 turnovers, two defensive stops here by the Wolfpack. They just had nothing going their way so far.
Yeah, and this is going to be a huge hill to climb for Dinuba if they want to try to get back into this ball game. As you mentioned, or as we mentioned at the start of this broadcast, both of these teams are going to put forth their all in this ball game. This is all or nothing here. It's the title game for them. And Ridgeview on both sides of that ball has put forth 110% effort. The defense, a great job getting those 2 interceptions and getting a huge stand at the goal line. Just a couple of the things that they've done throughout this ball game to help them get this huge 5-touchdown lead.
5 yards on the run there by the running back here. Now second down and about 5 yards to go with the ball at the 35. Dropping back, trying to escape, and now rolls to the far side. He's going to have to use his feet. He gets the first down, whole lot more, runs out of bounds at the 50, down to about maybe the 48, and that was Marcus McMarion on the run. Quarterback keeper getting him about 20 yards, enough for another Dinuba first down.
Yeah, and it looks like this is going to be the story of the second half with McMarion having to take the ball himself. He's been able to go through the air the entire first half, but Ridgeview has been able to read that so far in this quarter, forcing McMarion to run the ball himself.
So first down and 10, McMarion now throwing over to the corner. It is complete. He's at the 40, breaks off a couple of tackles, and then forced out of bounds. They're at around the 35-yard line, and they're on the play. It was Xavier Jones, the wide receiver. About 15 yards and another Emperor first down.
Yeah, and the Emperors are going to have to move the ball down the field very, very quickly here. They've got about 6:39 left here in the third quarter, 12 minutes in the fourth, and 5 touchdowns to score if they want to tie this ball game. And, of course, that means the defense is going to have to get 5 big stops as well.
First down here, McMarion rolling out far side, has to escape, getting almost drilled in the backfield before letting it go out of bounds. The last second hitch there, forcing the incompletion. Now second down and 10, and already with McMarion, he's trying to use his feet, but now he's seeing a lot of purple in front of him. They're now reading the quarterback keeper rather well here, are the Wolfpack.
Yeah, exactly, and I bet the Emperor coach is freaking out there with McMarion moving backwards. He moved about 10, 15 yards back. Put McMarion with incredible athleticism, was able to avoid 4 potential sacks and get rid of that ball for an incomplete pass.
2nd down and 10 at the 32 of Ridgeview. McMarion takes a snap, staying in pocket. Now rolling out far side, thrown pass is caught by Josh Valenzuela. Valenzuela gets the first down at about the 18. Another first down for the Emperors, trying to quickly move back to the ball. Not a lot of time here to work with. They're down by 5 scores again, a 42-7 Ridgeview lead. Clock now rolling with 6:15 to go. Breaking out of the huddle here, this time back in the shotgun, McMarion. No back behind him, 2 receivers left, 3 to the right. Dropping back, throwing it to the corner. It's caught by Ruiz. Ruiz spin down at the 6, and that'll draw a flag in the backfield. No, correction, no flag on the play regardless. It'll be first down and goal, though. A great pass there from McMarion down to Ruiz.
Yeah, and again, McMarion, he can do it all, as we've seen so far in this game. He can air it out, and he's very accurate. Both interceptions he's had were because he was hit as he threw. Actually, the first one, it was just a bad read, but the second one, he was hit as he threw. So far, he's been very accurate in this ball game.
On first down in the shotgun. To the right side, thrown to the corner, ball tipped, and incomplete. Again, the throw to Xavier Jones. He had the chance to make the catch, but the force had the ball pop out.
Yeah, Xavier Jones had that ball placed right in his hands, just above his head, but he can feel the defender right on his back, and I think he was worried more about the hit than the catch, and so he was unable to bring that in.
2nd down and goal. The last time the Emperors were in the red zone, they were stopped on a goal line stand by the Wolfpack. 5:33 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 2nd and goal at the 6. Dropping back, staying in pocket to the middle. Flag on the play. Is it caught? Yes, for the touchdown. It will be PI called against the Wolfpack, but it was Michael Sandoval on the reception. So count the 6, maybe. Referees are discussing. This might be against the offense here. We will have to see.
I mean, I think that was clearly pass interference on the defense. He completely tackled the receiver before the ball even got to him.
It'll be pass interference against the defense, so decline the penalty. It'll be a touchdown for the Emperors, so they get on the board again. 42-13 now pending here the extra point. So they get the connection there from McMarion to Michael Sandoval. That's Sandoval's first touchdown of the night. Ready now to set up the XP, the snap, the hold, the kick is up and good, splitting the uprights. 42-14, they finally get back in the end zone before their last couple of drives have gone for naught. We'll take a quick timeout right here. About 5:28 to go here in the 3rd quarter, and it's a 4-score lead here with the Ridgeview Wolfpack on top. This is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com.
Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups like the game you're enjoying here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the Play On Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to PlayOnSports.com/SBP.
5:28 to go in the 3rd, and the Emperors get themselves into the end zone. It's now a 35-point lead, an effective drive. But right now, Joel, it just seems as if took a few minutes off the clock there. It took them about 3 to get in the end zone. But these last couple of drives before then, they're trying to get used to things. But right now, they're just slowly but surely trying to get back into this game.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a very successful drive by Dinuba. They were finally able to get back into the end zone after many unsuccessful drives, but it's definitely something that they need to take forward going into the rest of this ball game if they want to catch up. They still have to score 4 more touchdowns. They have about 17 minutes left in this ball game. It's going to be a very difficult task, especially with this Wolfpack offense playing the way they've been playing. They've been incredible here tonight.
So there was a flag on the play. at the end of the extra point. It was roughing the kicker called against the Wolfpack. So as you see right there, they're going to be kicking off. The Emperors will be kicking off from the 40. It'll be from the Ridgeview 40. And I think they'll be setting up here for the onside with a lot of players from Ridgeview lining up at the 30. So obviously, in a game like this where it's all or nothing, they want this ball back. Dinuba now signaling. Ball will be bounced up and it'll go right into the hands of Ridgeview. It was a straight shoot right into the hands of DeAndre Turner. Correction, William Robertson there, right into the chest. So the Wolfpack will get the ball back, first down and 10.
Yeah, I mean, that was perfect positioning for an onside kick. They were already deep, or inside of the Wolfpack territory. Might as well go for the onside kick because if you get it back, you're going to be in absolutely amazing field position. You'd be around, your opposition's 30-yard line. So it was a great call, a great risk to take, but Wolfpack was able to hold on to that ball, and they're going to start at the 32-yard line.
5:24 to go in the third quarter. Back in the shotgun, Conmoya. Conmoya with a double reverse, running now towards the near side. A great footwork, using the stiff arm and moving out of bounds. My goodness, Daleen Warren there on the run turned a 5-yard loss into somehow an 8-yard gain. And that is what a 5'5" running back can do best. Use his feet and kind of get creative.
Yeah, absolutely. Daleen Warren looked like he was going to go down deep into the backfield, as you mentioned, about 5 yards back. He had 3 guys there, and he was able to use that speed, his short size, that stiff arm to push everyone away and just kind of juke back and forth, and he was able to get a 9-yard gain out of it.
So now shifting on the offense here, second down and about 1 to go. Back in the shotgun, Conmoya, single back is Tripp behind him. Tripp on the play action, Conmoya rolling out, throwing to the receiver one-on-one. Pass incomplete, looking for a flag. It was intended from Persons, but again, the pass was uncatchable, 3rd and 1.
I feel like there might have been a missed flag there. I think that was offensive pass interference. The offensive player pushed down the defender who was in front of him, not allowing him to get to the ball, but the referees didn't call it, and so that's a break there for the Wolfpack.
So now 3rd down and 1. Obviously, as you can see on that play, they were kind of just going all or nothing there to maybe bring it back to a 5-score lead, but instead they might be electing to run. 3rd down with about 5:06 to go in the third. They hand off here to Tripp. He'll get about 2 yards. Another first down for the Wolfpack. Move the chains.
Yeah, and with this running game, they've got Tripp or Cotton Moya running the ball, or even Daleen Warren. If it's a short, 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, 3rd and 2, all you got to do is hand it off, and you can pretty much guarantee yourself a first down.
So 1st down and 10 at the Ridgeview 44-yard line. With the handoff up the middle, Tripp getting about maybe 2, if not 3. It'll set up now 2nd down and about 7 to go.
And even though Ridgeview's up 42-14, their side of the crowd is still way into it. I can feel this press box shaking. They're really into this ball game and excited to see their Wolfpack ahead by 4 touchdowns here in the third quarter.
Clock here rolling about 4:13. It actually just stopped as I think there's an equipment issue here for Brandon Tripp as he'll have to come off the sideline. So now replacing him will be Jacob Lopez in the backfield. Got a 42-14 lead for Ridgeview as they're looking to control the ball here in this third quarter. Conmoy back in the shotgun. He'll take the snap. Ball handed over. It'll be a quarterback keeper. To the far side, Conmoya gets the first down and then forced out of bounds at about the Emperor 44-yard line. Another first down, and again, there's the feet of Cotton Moya, who's wreaked havoc. They're actually going to say it's actually down at about the 46, so he stepped out of bounds before he crossed the 44. So it'll be 3rd down and 1, but still, this feat of Cotton Moya has really done damage against this Emperor defense. So back out of the shotgun. Single back behind him in Jacob. 3rd down and 1. Taking the handoff is Jacob. He finds a hole. He gets 12 on the play. It was like Moses parting the Red Sea on the play. He gets 12 on the run. Another first down.
Yeah, again, that offensive line has been doing a great job all night. They opened up a hole, a huge hole there for Jacob Lopez to burst through for a 12-yard gain, even though all they needed was 1. But he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to take more than just 1. Give me 12.
So right now, 1st down and 10 at the 36-yard line of the Emperors, with the clock at 3:20 to go. 2 backs behind. Correction, 1 back behind Cotton Moya. Cotton Moya with the keeper. He'll move to the far side, using this time his shoulder and bulldozing to about the 28.
Yeah, Cotton Moya losing his footing a little bit there in the backfield. Almost went down for a short loss, but instead he was able to use that speed and that strength to burst forward for another 8 yards, making this a 2nd down and 2 yards to go for the first.
So now 2nd down, maybe 2, if not about a yard to go. They are down at about the 27 of the Emperors. Single back behind Cotton Moya, now call in motion. Tripp gets the handoff. He gets the first down, breaks off a couple tackles, takes a defender with him inside the 5, down to the 2. Wow, unbelievable. This strength of Brandon Tripp breaks off a tackle and then gets 1 defender off his jersey and takes him inside the 5. And that is what I call strength and agility.
Yeah, I think Brandon Tripp definitely had his vitamins before this game. He had a guy tugging on his jersey, and he was just pulling him along like he's a powerful locomotive, bringing the caboose with him, and he almost took that caboose with him into the end zone.
So now they set up here 1st down and goal. They're inside the 5 at about the 4-yard line. Now the clock here rolling, about 2:23 to go, looking to bring it back up to maybe a 35-point lead. It's a 42-14 Ridgeview advantage. Cotton Moya back in the shotgun. The handoff up to Jacob Lopez. He crosses the plane and into the end zone for another Ridgeview touchdown. It's Jacob Lopez with his first touchdown of the night. It is now a 48-14 lead, again pending the XP.
Yeah, and the Wolfpack again putting up another touchdown on the board. As you said, now it's 48-14 pending the extra point. But that again puts them back up by 5 touchdowns, as there's a flag on the play here thrown by the ref on the far sideline.
It'll be against the Emperors. I believe it might have been an encroachment penalty. So move the ball half the distance to set up the field goal try. Again, 48-14 now pending the XP. The snap, the kick, it's up, and it is a good. 7 touchdowns, 6 on offense, 1 on defense. And right now the Wolfpack are smelling their revenge from last year. They made the title game last year. They fell in the title game last year. Now it looks as if they might be avenging it. They're well in control of this one, Joel. 49-14. What a great football team. What a great football game we're seeing right now thus far.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen a little bit of everything here tonight, especially from the Wolfpack defensively. They've been incredible. They've held Dinuba just to 14 points thus far. The defense has also put up points, which is always a bonus when you have this high-powered offense already. But just a great job here by Ridgeview. They've been very effective moving the ball down the field. They had the first 2 drives were unsuccessful. They started off with the 3 and out and turnover on downs on their second drive. But ever since then, it's been all Wolfpack. They've been, handing the ball off all over this field and getting all kinds of yards. It's been incredible to watch this running offense play the way they have tonight.
And it's definitely been a treasure to see the man, Kamari Cotton-Moy. As we mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast, he's got 3 schools looking at him. All 3 have actually offered him scholarships out of the Mountain West: Fresno State, Utah State, and Nevada. And it's no surprise that this man has been one to talk about here in Bakersfield. A return taken to about the 23-yard line. The Emperors need to act fast if they want to get back in this game. Again, a 35-point Ridgeview lead. Most likely they need to score before the end of this quarter if they want to hold on and maybe keep up with this game here.
Yeah, they have 2 minutes to put up some points on the board and at least make this game a little bit more manageable in the fourth quarter. But even then, they have a very, very steep slope to climb.
So with Dinuba back on the field, 1st down and 10, as you can see. No back behind the quarterback. They're going to throw it up. It's throwing it incomplete, as it was intended to Lorenzo Fraga. Can't complete it there. 2nd down as McMarion didn't read the eyes of the receiver there.
Yeah, Fraga turned his head a little bit too late, just a fraction of a second too late, and the ball fell harmlessly incomplete just in front of him.
So now 2nd down and 10. McMarion looking at his offense, back in the same formation here. 2 to the left, 3 to the right. Looks like they will be going no back the rest of this night. The throwing up to the corner, it is caught to the 35 and then brought down at the 40. On the reception, Ernesto Ruiz on the play. It is a 1st down, stopping the clock, but it'll reset as he was tackled in bounds. About 1:50 left to go in the 3rd.
Yeah, we're going to see a lot of McMarion's arm the rest of this ball game, as you said. Probably a empty backfield or maybe a single back who can flare out if necessary. But McMarion's absolutely going to have to use his arm the rest of the way to try to at least bring his ball club back into this game. 1st
down and 10, pass bobbled and incomplete. It was Evan Harrod who can't make the reception. On the last play, you saw Ernesto Ruiz limping off the sideline, had to do it quickly. He was favoring, I think, his left ankle. Might be out for just a few plays, though, as he was able to walk off on his own power. So the clock stopping after the incomplete pass. About 90 seconds to go here in the 3rd, as the offense now breaks out here. 2nd down and 10. This time, 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right here, away from McMarion. Taking the snap, pocket collapsing, and then swallowed up in the backfield with the sack, Caleb Vickner. Yeah, that's the 2nd sack of the night for the Wolfpack, and now it'll set up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and that's the last thing you want as the Emperors and McMarion. You don't want to give up sacks. Already down by so much momentum on the Wolfpack side, and that just adds a little bit more fuel to their fire.
Timeout here called by the Emperors, as they'll discuss what to do here on 3rd down and long. It was a 9-yard sack that brought them back to about the 32-yard line of the Emperors. And obviously, with the score reading right now at 5, a 5-score game for the Wolfpack, obviously a passing situation, most likely a 4th-down situation as well, if they can maybe get a few more yards. The 1st down marker is at the 49, but they still have a lot to work with here.
Yeah, it's 3rd and very long, and you know what they're going to go to here. These receivers have dropped a few easy passes. That's something that I've noticed throughout this ball game, and so they need to get open, but they need to come down with the ball. They're a little bit nervous knowing they're down by so much.
Now set up on the shotgun here. 3rd down Got to use his feet. Now rolls out. Flag on the play. The pass is caught, but then broken up. Making the hit. Dalen Warren. They're going to say it is an incomplete pass, and I think it'll be holding called against Dinuba. And I think they will most likely decline the penalty, the Wolfpack.
Yeah, that was a very obvious holding call there. One of the offensive linemen completely tackling one of the Wolfpack defensive linemen who was about to get to McMarion, and he just brought him down. And, of course, that's an easy holding penalty call there.
So now 4th down, and I think the Wolfpack, or correction, the Emperors will set up to kick the ball away, so they'll bring their guards down and kick it away. 49-14 here with Ridgeview on top in the Division III CIF Central Championship game. Setting up to punt, the snap, a flag though on the play. And I think it'll be a false start penalty as you see the Ridgeview players on the field celebrating the penalty. It'll be a false start called against, again, the Emperors, and already these mistakes are still climbing up against this Dinuba squad.
Yeah, the mistakes are definitely piling on here, especially on this drive. With only 1 minute and 11 seconds left here in the third quarter. 4th down, last thing you want is to add some more yardage for you to overcome.
Ready for the punt. It's high. Not as deep, though, as it'll be fair caught by Warren inside Dinuba territory at the 48. About 1 minute and 4 left to go here in the third quarter. And Joel, right now, Ridgeview with the 5-score lead. It's now all about kind of just winding down these last 13 minutes or so. They can control the clock and control the ball on offense if they play smart here.
Yeah, definitely. Ridgeview, we're going to see a lot of running the ball, as if we haven't seen it throughout this game. But they're going to take it a little bit more methodical, not worry about the huge gains as much. As long as they can move the ball down the field, move those chains, keep this clock running, you know, they're set for the rest of this ball game. It's already below 50 seconds left in this third quarter. 12 minutes to go. They pretty much got this one wrapped up.
Roberts in there on the pitch. He takes it for about 2 yards. Under 40 left to go in the third, so chances are the Wolfpack will run one more play before the end of this third. Back in the shotgun here, Conmoya. Single back next to him on his right. Single receiver left and right. Taking the handoff on the run to the near side. Pushed out of bounds at the 39-yard line. On the run there, Jesse Morua. Again, the 5'5 junior with the carry. He gets to the 40-yard line, so now set up 3rd down and 2, but that clock will stop. So now 3rd down, actually going to give him to about the 39, so it'll now be 3rd down and about 1. Clock now at 16 seconds left. So a chance to run maybe one more play before the end of this third. Conmoy now calling out the offense, looking to the Ridgeview sideline. 2 receivers to the left with the tight end to the right side. On the handoff, Morua running to the 35 down to the 34. Correction, it was Myshawn Williams there on the carry. He gets the 1st down and a few more. Tackled at about the 33. About under 10 left. And I think the Wolfpack will head back to the sideline as that'll be the end of this third quarter. 49-14. Ridgeview on top. They got 12 minutes left before they will celebrate their Division III title. Take a quick timeout right here. Again, a 5-score Ridgeview lead. This is Friday Night Football right here on PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports.
Play on Sports is on Facebook and Twitter, giving you news and information and links to great highlights. Follow us at Play on Sports on both Facebook and Twitter. You can also access thousands of live and on-demand games on YouTube at youtube.com/playonnetwork. Keep up with all the high school action every week from your destination for high school sports, playonsports.com.
Back in action here, fourth quarter about to go underway. You see the Ridgeview sideline with the fingers, 4 fingers up, showing that is the final quarter of this ball game. In control now of 49-14. Wolfpack lead. And Joel, real quick, just your thoughts here already. We've seen the great wonders of Kamari Cotton-Moya. Just great rushing by Brandon Tripp, but really it's been an all-around game here for this Ridgeview Wolfpack as they've really had the control from start to finish.
Yeah, you mentioned it perfectly, all-around game. That's what you can call this. Ridgeview has been able to do all the little things great on defense, on offense. They've been able to do amazing tackling. As you can see, Cotton-Moya here running it into the end zone.
Cotton-Moya with the quarterback keeper. L1, R1, circle X, I don't know. In any case, it's a touchdown for the Wolfpack, and that's his third of the night. 55-14, pending the XP.
And just going back to what we were just talking about, an all-around game here, but more specifically Cotton-Moya showing everything that he can do on his legs, through the air. He's been doing an incredible job here tonight, going back into the end zone. I feel like that's where he lives permanently, and he just wants to go home to the end zone all the time. And pending here the extra point, it'll be, looks like it's no good, wide right. But, you know, this lead's pretty, I'd say, insurmountable here for Dinuba. They put forth a great effort. But Ridgeview doing a great job defensively, offensively. I can't see really any mistakes that they've made here tonight. Pretty much almost a perfect game that they've played.
And the thing with the mistakes, too, is you look at the other side for Dinuba, 14 points coming off their turnovers, one on a pick six, the other one, another interception, but it did lead to another Ridgeview touchdown. You know, the beginning of the game for the Emperors, they got in control in the beginning. A couple of goal line stands, though, forced by the Wolfpack, and really ever since then they just could not get their footwork going. Hence why the Ridgeview Wolfpack have really just had control from the beginning to end.
Yeah, pretty much. Dinuba started playing very well on defense and not being able to do much on offense to start this ball game. It seems the defense just couldn't hold on any longer. Just the Wolfpack were too strong, too powerful, too fast to just, let Dinuba hold them down. And so Cotton-Moya, again, getting back into the end zone and doing great under center in the shotgun. Amazing play-action plays he's ran all night, and it's all been for a great, great title game here for the Wolfpack.
So now Ridgeview here to set up to kick off from their own 40. That'll be a line drive that'll take a bounce. Recepted at the 5. Couple of moves there, now taken down at about the 30. That's where the drive will start. So the mercy rule now will be in effect. It's all across the state of California. The mercy rule states that the clock will only stop on the referee's discretion, usually on an official's timeout. It'll stop after a score, no matter the case, wherever it may be, either on the losing or winning team, or the team that's down or the team that's up. And also it'll also stop on a timeout as well by either side. So again, Ridgeview leading 55-14, a 41-point lead, and it's been Ridgeview all throughout tonight. They made the finals last year, losing in their battle, and they've come back for their second trip. Second time is always a charm. Dropping back to the corner. It is caught in the backfield. Getting back to maybe the line of scrimmage, and on the reception there, Ernesto Ruiz. It'll be a loss maybe of about 1, maybe about a half a yard, second down and 10.
And the defense still playing hard. They completely annihilated Ruiz on that play. Had 2 guys just creamed him in the backfield. And it's been the story all night for this defense, just putting forth an amazing effort.
So now it's second down at about 10, if not 11. Calling the motion. Here's Ruiz along the far side from the handoff. Gets maybe 2 on the play before being spun. Kept in bounds at about the 31. So a 2-yard gain now, setting up 3rd and 9.
And it looks like the Dinuba Emperors have given in to this deficit, just running the ball here. With Ruiz these last couple times, they're going for they went for the short pass. McMarion, has that great arm, has that great vision. Just those 2 interceptions kind of put him behind a little bit, and the defense didn't help out as much either.
Just could not get back in sync, especially after the second interception. Here, 3rd down, thrown up the middle, a diving catch. They're going to say, though, it hit the ground. It was intended to Aaron Taylor. Correction, it was to Michael McCormick on the play. McCormick could not hang on to the ball. 4th down. Clock here rolling, under 9 to go, and the Emperors will have to punt.
That was still some great athleticism there by McCormick, diving for that ball, trying to get his hand underneath the ball so that it didn't hit the grass. But the referee was right on top of that one and was able to see that the ball did touch the ground before he had complete control of the ball.
It's now here, the Emperors setting up to punt. They'll be kicking off from their own 30-yard line. A whistle. And I believe it will be a timeout here called, as both teams will be heading to the sidelines. Or at least the Emperors will be timeout here, but it'll be called by the Wolfpack, I believe. It will be the Wolfpack, so I think they're trying to maybe bring into their reserves on the field to retrieve the punt. As you can see, the Emperors are now set back to kick the ball away. So the clock does stop, about 8:27 left in the 4th and final quarter. Again, it's a 41-point Ridgeview lead. 2 men to retrieve the punt. For the Wolfpack, it's Jesse Marura and Maishawn Williams. High kick, it goes over the head of the punter. He's got to run around and gets down inside the 6. The mistakes keep on coming here for this Dinuba football team.
Yeah, and that's been the story of the night. It's been a couple times where it's a fumbled snap. The long snap goes over the punter's head. You had number 24, Michael Sandoval, back there, and it went over his head. He tried to retrieve the ball and run with it, but he just fell down inside their own 5-yard line, or around the 5-yard line, and now that gives the Wolfpack just 5 yards to put up another touchdown on the board.
New quarterback on the field will be number 16, Kyle James, who will be signaling here for Ridgeview. 7:35 and counting in the 4th and final quarter. High snap, but keeping the ball in his hands. He'll hand it off to Jacob Lopez, who runs it back to the line of scrimmage, now 2nd down. So obviously talking about Ridgeview, but we really can't take away Dinuba. Obviously they had not taken on an opponent of this kind of size and this kind of caliber. Definitely give a lot of credit to this team, looking for their 2nd CI title in 4 years. Although it will come up short, though, so it seems. Definitely give a lot of credit to this team to get this far.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always a privilege to be a participant in the championship game for CIF. That shows that you've had a great season, and for Dinuba to be able to get to this point twice in the last 4 years, that shows a lot about this program, that they know what their goals are. Some programs kind of just lag around the middle of the division most of the time, but these guys know how to get to the top, know how to get to that finals game. And unfortunately for them, they're facing an incredible Wolfpack team here that is just above and beyond any caliber of team that they've faced thus far.
3rd down, the handoff to the near side. Jesse Marua trying to fight through and instead gets forced down back to the line of scrimmage. He'll be down at about the 2-yard line maybe if not the 4, as a matter of fact. Clock here still rolling, about 6 minutes left.
And it's 4th down with a couple yards to go for the score. It's 4th and goal. So either way, it's either points on the board here for the Wolfpack or Dinuba's going to be pinned very, very deep in their own territory.
So on 4th down, the quarterback keeper, as Kyle James can't get to the line, can't get to the goal line. So turnover on downs. The clock will still roll under 5:30 left. Obviously, with a score like that, you kind of just want to go for it on 4th down. So that's good sportsmanship there by Dennis Manning. But again, a great stop there by the defense of Dinuba to get some momentum, a little bit of momentum going to work their way to maybe put a score, if not 2, on the board.
Yeah, exactly. And as you mentioned, good sportsmanship there. Just keeping the clock running. You don't really want to run up the score. You already have a insurmountable lead at 55-14. And Dinuba's just struggled this entire game on offense. And so let's see if they can get something together here to go out with a couple scores, as you mentioned, before the end of this ball game with now 4:45 left in this 4th quarter.
1st down and 10 here for the Emperors. Dropping back, McMarion throwing it up to the corner. It is almost caught there as Ruiz could not hang on. Had wide open space in front of him if he would have made the catch, but he could not reel it in. 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, and that was, again, right in the hands of Ruiz. But it's been the story of the night. A lot of these open receivers have not been able to come down with the catch. It's in their hands. It's in their vicinity for what one would assume is an easy catch, and they haven't been able to come down with that.
2nd down and 10 at the Dinuba 4. This time a handoff. It'll be up the middle and then taken down at about the maybe 5, if not 6. So counted a few yards. They'll get off the end zone. So now set up here 3rd down and 6. And again, you give a lot of credit to this Ridgeview defense too, taking on a team that's been averaging 44 points coming into this game. And they only allowed, at least right now, 14 so far.
Yeah, Ridgeview's done an incredible job here tonight, as you can see them already on the sideline kind of celebrating as a team. It looks like they already dunked some Gatorade on their coach, and they're doing it some more here. You see ice all over their sideline and Gatorade all over the place. The coach is soaked. They're excited to have put this ball game in the bag, per se. But it's been an incredible game by Ridgeview all around, and they absolutely deserve to win this ball game and win the championship.
And it's definitely not an easy game, too, in this Division III matchup. Both teams, obviously, 1 and 2 respectively, but obviously give a lot of credit to Dinuba, too, from getting this far. But for Ridgeview, as you can see, head coach Dennis Manning, a little bit moist after the punch out. He's still getting some water there, too. You see the Ridgeview sideline celebrating their first division title here in quite a while. Again, they lost it last year. Now having a chance to avenge the title as they have done so here. 2:25 left to go. 1st down and 10 after the completion from Dinuba. Ball here at the 15. Quick drop back. Pass bobbled and incomplete as it was intended to Aaron Taylor. Could not reel it in. Now 2nd down and 10. And obviously for Ridgeview too, you give everything to the offense, but obviously, like we said before, we kind of called it on one of the plays. Obviously, our player of the game is going to go to Karmari Khan-Moya, the quarterback who has done it all. He had one touchdown pass, 1 on the ground, and really he just couldn't really, did a lot of damage against the defense of Dinuba. Pretty obvious choice for our PlayOnSports.com player of the game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Cotton Moya was the man here tonight, doing a great job on his feet, through the air, getting those big gains, those 3rd down conversions when needed. And I'm still, in awe of the great play action movement that he has. He completely fools everybody on defense, even everyone here up in the press box. You don't know where the ball is going with Cotton Moya, and next thing you know, he's still holding on to the ball and he's running with it. Or he's holding on to the ball and he launches it down the field for a huge gain. And that's something that Cotton Moya has perfected here as a quarterback, that play-action play.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I had a few head scratchers up here in the press box, but he really sold those play actions really well, either on his own feet or even with his running backs as well. Pass complete along the sideline. No, correction, it'll be incomplete. It was a last-second call by the back judge. Under 40 seconds left, maybe one more play before Ridgeview can rush onto the field. Already the fans in front of us are feeling it here. Clock under 30 to go. The Ridgeview sideline piling up. Still giving a few showers to head coach Dennis Manning. 10 seconds left, and I think they're not going to run a play. Ridgeview will win it 55-14 as the players will run down to midfield to celebrate the Division III Central Section title. Taking on a team that was the first in the division, first in points scored. They only allowed 14. The arm and the feet of Kamari Cotton-Moya and the rest of the defense proved to be the one-sided affair for this Ridgeview team as they will hoist the trophy and win out the Division III Central Section title.
Yeah, and very much well-deserved here tonight for the Ridgeview Wolfpack. All around an amazing game played on both offense, defense, special teams. Got in there and did some great tackling, putting the Emperors into their own field deep, close to their own end zone many times. And all the little things is what Ridgeview was able to do here tonight to come out with this win and the Division III championship.
So, folks, we'll take a timeout right here. We'll keep the camera on and have our player of the game interview with Kamari Cotton-Moya. Folks, final score 55-14. Ridgeview wins it. They'll take the CI Division III Central Section title. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on PlayOnSports.com, where high school sports lives right here. Once again, Ridgeview wins it. They'll take the title. We'll be right back after this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/s.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
one match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP. We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Alright, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back here to PlayOnSports.com. Again, the final score 55-14 with Ridgeview over Dinuba. Alongside here, Joel Diaz, Man U News here with the call. And Joel, just an all-around effort on both sides of the ball by Ridgeview. They obviously earned the victory, and they get the Division III Central Section title.
Yeah, absolutely. They had a great game tonight, all around, as we talked about the entire ball game, on offense, on defense, even special teams. Did a great job of pinning the offense deep in their own territory to start every single drive. So just all around, Ridgeview was doing a great job tonight, and a very well-deserved championship for them.
Yeah, definitely. Getting a lot of looks from that Division I player. Kamari obviously did a really good job on just using his arm, using his feet. He did a phenomenal job really just controlling the defense of Dinuba. They had a chance to break the game wide open early, had a couple of stops early in the first quarter, but they finally get used to things, putting up 55 points in about 3 quarters. Very impressive against the defense, who only allows really about 20 per game.
Yeah, absolutely. The way this game started, it seemed like it was just going to be a couple prize fighters going at it blow to blow. The defenses were doing a great job. Dinuba did force a couple 3-and-outs for the first 2 drives of Ridgeview, but then after that, as you mentioned, they just kind of blew it open and scored 55 points in the next 3 quarters. So that's very incredible. Great job by Ridgeview. Dinuba, unfortunately, their defense couldn't hold on as much as they would have liked.
Definitely don't take away from Dinuba. Their quarterback, obviously only a junior, so he's got 1 more year left in the helm. And, this team, again, they had a taste a few years back. They won it about 2 years ago. They were short last year. They were short again, but you can tell that this team, obviously number 1 in their division, respectively, wouldn't be surprised if they come back next year and maybe fight again for another chance at a title.
Yeah, definitely. They've been in the title game a couple times already in the last 4 years, so it's not going to be a strange thing to see them back in the title hunt. Having that experience under their belt already, knowing what they need to do to get here. Now they need to figure out what can we do to actually come away with the championship victory.
Once again, folks, Ridgeview wins by a final of 55-14 here in the Division III CIF Central Championship game. Folks, it doesn't end. We got tomorrow the Sac Joaquin section up in Sacramento. We got the state finals for volleyball in Irvine, California. We got all the action from now until the state title game in Carson, California. Folks, it does not end here. It all continues right here on PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports, with Joel Diaz, our producer upstairs, Tim Barker, our camera guy, Jonathan Silva. This is Manny Nunez signing off here. We'll see you tomorrow night and all throughout December here for your coverage here on high school football and playoff coverage right here on PlayOnSports.com, your home for high school sports. Good night, everybody, and we'll see you next time right here on Play on Sports.
1 match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.